Hi everybody, Jo here. Welcome to another Coffee Break Crafts, where we're just going to create a very quick and simple card during my coffee break. And as always, here's my coffee, just to prove it really is my coffee break. But I've got to be honest, I do have a lot of coffee breaks in the day, but shh, don't tell anyone. Now today, I've got a card to do for a 4-year-old nephew. And I'm just going to look at my selection of Lavinia stamps that I have and see what I can adapt to make for a 4-year-old. What I've done already is I've just popped a Sharpie line around my piece of card, and this is a 5.5-inch square, and it's the multifarious, and all I've done is taken my Sharpie pen, my kitchen roll, and popped my black line around. I tend to do a batch of about 8 or 9 of these in one go, and then I've got them ready. And I always do it at the beginning, because if I do it at the end, Murphy's Law says I'm going to mess my card up. But that's just me. There are some very clever people that can do it at the end, but I'm not one of them. And I do think it's about knowing your limitations, and I know mine. So I'm going to start. This is going to be quite a monochrome card, but with a twist of colour. And I'm going to come in with the music notes first, and we have large and small, and I think this is possibly the large, although I've got to be honest, I do mix mine up and just have them in as music notes, so please forgive me for that. And it's got this gorgeous, lovely flowing. I'm thinking, you see, I'm going to use the Cheeky Mice. I have a plan in mind, and I want them to be on sort of like the music scale. And I just want to use a couple of stamps. So I'm thinking of angling this sort of across up my card here. So I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're having a good week. Lovely. And again, I know it's coffee break, but for me, it's important I clean my stamps before I put them away. Again, that's just something I do. If you're somebody who doesn't like to clean them, that's fine. I'm afraid I have to. It's just inbuilt in me. But also, I find if I pick them up and they're dirty, I get dirt on my hands, I get inky fingers, and that'll go on my work. So for me, I need to keep as clean as I can. Now we've got some beautiful notes, the treble clef, all sorts. Now I'm just going to add this. Now, if you're into music, please do not judge me as to where I've stamped I think it's a treble clef, isn't it? I'm afraid I'm not musically gifted, so that's my version. I should have looked it up before I did the video, but again, it's coffee break. I didn't have time. So that's the start of the design, and I'm going to bring in a couple of Cheeky Mice, and these I think we need to rename them. They're definitely Cheeky Mice. So I'm going to bring in Tilly and Tango, and I'm going to stamp them. And again, I'm using black, I'm keeping it black, and I'm just going to stamp, and she's just going to be standing across a couple of the bars here. There we go. And again, she's a silhouette, so I'm just going to let her, I know, while I do that, I can sip my coffee. It just saves it going cold. I don't know about you, how many times I start creating a card with a brew, and before I know it, it's gone cold. Right, so I'm going to pop her back over there. Right. Again, nice light tapping. If you're new to stamping, and it's lovely, I've had quite a few new messages of new followers, which is fabulous. And I'm so glad you're enjoying these little videos. It's just, don't press too hard. Just nice light tapping, but make sure you've got a good coverage. And I'm just going to see if I can just pop him. Shall we have him? So my head might come over. So if you see the top of my head, I apologise. I just want him sort of at the top. Now again, if you look, that's not quite, obviously I was that busy telling you to get a good coverage, I haven't quite, but don't worry, we can get round that. And I bet if I didn't point it out, you wouldn't have noticed anyway. Now, what I'm thinking, in his arms, we've got a lovely birthday wishes, and I'm just going to angle it slightly. See if I can stick it on my block, just slightly angled. Right, and I need to be quick before it's done it. I wasn't quick enough, was I? No, it's gone straight. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I really want, if I can, to angle it a bit. So I'm just cleaning the ink off because I just want to clean the back. So I'm just wiping it with a damp cloth just to see if it'll stick a little bit better. Because if possible, I do want it to have a slight angle to it. So it's worth me redoing. So let's just see. Right, I need to be a bit quicker here before it. Right, let's see if we can get birthday wishes stamped at a bit of an angle. There we go. The longer stamps, you can angle them better because birthday wishes is a short stamp. It's not as easy. And then what I want to do is we've got some fabulous numbers. So I'm going to stamp the number 4 because this is for a 4th birthday. Now, these mice, you could adapt this card. And I'm thinking, where should we have? I want this to be like a balloon. That's too far away. So I'm thinking there. So you could adapt this. If you wanted a card for, say, something like a 31st, 28th, whatever, because we've got the numbers, you can make the card special. And I do love that. So you can just personalise it. That'll give that a blot. And then let's just make this look a little bit more like a balloon. And then what I'm going to do is just add, so there we go, she's holding the balloon. And again, we'll just do a little bit of a, so it looks like the birthday wishes is on a bit of a banner. And again, he's holding, there we go. And then I think we'll have some music notes. So let's have a bit of sort of happy birthday music. If I knew my music, I could possibly do the notes to happy birthday, couldn't I? But obviously I don't. You clever not probably know. And you're probably going to tell me that we probably haven't got the music notes on here for happy birthday. So now I'm just going to do a selection. We'll have one there. Don't want to overcook it with the notes. But there's a lovely collection here. I think this is on the small music notes. Again, we've got the small and the large. And I'm just going to put that one in that corner, just so I've got that nice sort of diagonal. Give them a wipe, pop them away. Again, give that a blot. Now, I keep all my little offcuts of card, as you know, and what I'm going to do on a little offcut, look, I'm going to re-stamp the 4, and I'm going to decoupage the balloon. Now, I know you're thinking, well, you've already stamped it, why are you going to decoupage it? For me, I find it easier to decoupage on top of something. It just helps me with the placement. But again, I think that, I tell you all these things and really I shouldn't be telling you what I'm like, what my head's like, should I? Now, for my colouring, I'm going to bring in this beautiful blue atoll, which I know I seem to be using a lot, but I just love the colour. And what I'm going to do with my small brush is literally go straight and colour the number 4. Now, I've already done this on one and cut it out, but just to show you that's how I did it. Again, straight in, look. So what we will do is introduce a little bit of colour to our card. Quick sip of coffee. And I'm going to come with my slightly larger stencil brush. And again, always dab off in the lid. And I just want to introduce, now this, I mean, you could make this card for so many different people using different colours. And I'm just flicking the colour and I'm going in the direction almost that this music score is flowing. I'm going to come in with my smaller brush, look, just to give me a bit more intensity of colour at the base. And that's why it's important to blot your work. Otherwise, the stamps could smudge a little. So we'll just flow with a little bit more. And for me, that's just enough of that colour. And then what I'm going to do is just, with my pastel pencil, I'm just going to add some little highlights, look. Now again, you can use a gel pen for this. I'm just using my pastel pencil, and we'll add just a little bit on her nose, her ears. Just give it a little bit of shape, and then on her tummy, look. And again, just always smudge, because again, with the pastel, a little bit on his tummy. Just under his chin there and his ears. Like I say, it works well with gel pen. I'm just a coward. I like my pastel pencil. It's just a bit more forgiving for me. But it's whatever suits you. Maybe just across the bars here. We don't really need to do much else to this. What I do want to do is add a few Posca splats, and I've got my blue here. So I'll give it a good shake. And just to keep it tone on tone around here. And again, I'm holding it quite clear. I'm just directing exactly where. The reason I'm tapping it and tapping it. And again, just with the end of something, don't use anything sharp, because the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself and also damage your pen. You know, we do need to look after our tools. So it's just gentle with the end of my brush, look, and get those beautiful. I don't want to cover it all. I do need some white space left. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I've cut out my number 4, and with Glossy Accents, I've added a little dome, one of the little glass glints. And I'm just going to come in with a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to pop that on top. And then just because it's a blue balloon, I'm just going to grab my pencils. And I've got a blue here. And I should have done this before I put, but I just want to colour that little bit there. And then, there we go. So that'll just take a few minutes to dry. Now, there we go. And that's all I'm going to do today. And that's my card. When it's dry, I don't really want my balloon to move. I shall just pop that on a 6x6 card blank. And as I say, if it was, say, look, she could have 2 balloons in her. So if it was his 24th birthday, could have 2 balloons. And this is just a little card, similar, but without the balloon, just if you wanted her to hold. If you wanted Tilly to hold the number in her hand. But you could do it for a wedding anniversary. If you'd no idea what to do for somebody's wedding anniversary, you could use the mice. And obviously you would just need a little sentiment, maybe with love, instead of birthday wishes. And I do think it's one of those lovely designs you can adapt, and you can do it in your coffee break. So thank you very much. I won't keep you long today. Love and hugs from me. Thanks for all your support and your fabulous comments. See you again soon. Bye for now.